about to go down.
Burning your ears with another all-killer and no-filler episode of the best motorsports radio on the planet. It's the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. With your host, Jim Beaver.
Sliding trophy trucks, jumping razors, and dropping the mic at events across the country.
Amy Hood.
What's up, guys? I'm a professional fun haver, dirt bike rider, and monster truck driver.
With support from Polaris Razor, General Tire, Subaru, and Dirtfish. Hang on tight, strap in, and get ready to smoke some tires and lay some roost. Here's the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other. Jim Beaver.
All right, another day, another Down and Dirty Radio Show powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here along with Amy Hood, and right out of the gate joined by our good friend Ashley Kidd. How is everything going, ladies?
Hey, it's going pretty good, Jim. I took Ashley out for a serious adventure into the moto world. We're at Fitzland yesterday. She got to watch a bunch of legends hit some ramps, so, already out of the gate, she's having a wild time.
This is definitely going to be good stuff in this next segment. I can't wait to hear about that. I'm a little jealous. I've never been to Fitzland, and I've heard it's a pretty epic place. But just looking from some of the videos you were posting, I was like, holy crap, guys, we're slaying it. So looking forward to hearing about that in the next segment. Amy and I, we were out at Long Beach a week and a half ago, I think, as most of you guys know, and I don't know, Amy, we knocked out so many interviews, but we've got a Continental Tire takeover in hour number 2 of the show today.
Awesome.
We've got, what do we got? Renger, Zande, Jordan Taylor, Ryan Dalziel, Colin, Braun. We had a heck of a good time. Everything from jabbing Amy with an EpiPen because she was going to take tequila shots to talking about Grindr and Tinder. And
Tinder, yeah. It was quite a lineup. I'm so stoked that we kind of, threw them all into one interview because this was the best of the best, and we had a lot of fun with those guys. Yeah, we
had a ton of fun. I think you guys are going to have a heck of an hour number 2. Those of you tuning in, we've got some big global rallycross news to talk about as well. So I don't know, it's a slam-packed show today on the Down and Dirty Radio Show powered by Polaris Razor. If you got any fan questions, hit me up. It's at JimBeaver15 on social media. Amy is at AmyHood71. And with that, we are going to take a short break. We'll be back in 3 minutes with Ashley Kidd and Amy Hood here on the line on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Looking to have some fun on 4 wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Hood here, kicking things off, joined on the line by some royalty, world champion wake surfer Ashley Kidd, who's hanging out with Amy this week. And I don't know, do you have any idea what you are in for, Ashley? I mean, you kind of live on the edge, but I got to tell you, Amy can take it to another level once in a while. I guess they are. I don't know if they're there or not, but all right. Well, we'll just keep rolling into things, but got to say later on in the show we've got a lot coming at you today. Actually, we've got Red Bull Global Rallycross. We're going to be talking a bunch of Red Bull GRC, some news breaking out of that organization we haven't touched on yet. I know we had some people in on Facebook chiming in already, wondering what in the world is going on there. Obviously, they've announced they are done for 2018, but we've got a bunch of news going to be that's been breaking. Jalopnik carried a big article on that. Lawsuits going on, all kinds of stuff. So we've got that coming at you. That's going to be probably hour number 2 as well. Yeah, you guys there? Hey, I was.
Yeah, sorry, man. We've been we're chit-chatting in the background, so whenever, we're posting all of our stuff on social media, getting people to swipe in live, because someone was running behind schedule this morning, Jim. So obviously, we want to throw all of our stuff on social media, but to bring you guys in the loop, what Ashley had said was she had
Welcome
no
to the
idea
show, Amy Hood. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. I'm blaming this on you. You were late this morning, and so I'm trying to post everything on social for you.
No, hey, to the 900,000 people tuning in right now, I was on time at 9 a.m. The show kicked off at 9. I was at like 8:56. I got Amy the graphic, but I was still on time. I made the start of the show. I was just I was threading the needle.
I'm pretty sure I got the graphic at 9 a.m. when the show started. Anyways, I we only got 2 segments to talk to, and we're doing more today and tomorrow than 2 segments worth of talking can fit in. So, Jim, you're on the back burner. I'm telling you what's going on.
Roll with it, Amy.
Okay, well, first things first. What did you expect when you showed up yesterday in your rental car with your mom, girl?
Yeah, I honestly had no idea what we were going to do. I had told Amy, I was like, yeah, we could go to the gym, go work out or something. And nope, instead it was just
I'm like, throw the boards in the back of the car. I got my moto gear, and we headed out to Fitzland, and it was a pretty epic, start of the day, to say the least, because man, some royalty rolled in. FMX gods. Obviously, Jeremy Fitz was there. In his crew, Fitz's army, they're practicing for their shows. But Taka rolled up, and then the legendary Robbie Madison. And what a treat for Ashley, obviously, because Robbie. We were driving, and we were actually driving, and she's like, hey, do you know the guy who surfed on the water with the dirt bike? And what do you know? He rolls in to Fitzland, and they got to meet, take a photo, and chatted. So,
yeah, it was pretty insane. Definitely didn't expect any of that at all. I thought we were just going to have a chill day and hang out, and yeah, it was amazing. It was a really cool experience.
So here's a question for you, Ashley. And Amy and I have had this, and it's rare, I get to be around celebrities a lot. Amy obviously does too. I mean, you in certain circles, you're a celebrity. You're like, I don't know how many world championships you have, but you're like on that level
Dude,
now.
Taco was all into her. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, what gets you nervous
like,
though? Do you get like celebrity like where you like, oh my gosh, look at that? Like, is there any time where you're
I
like,
was her hype woman. I was her hype woman all day yesterday. I'm like,
yeah,
this
Amy's
girl.
like, she's a 4-time world champion.
Yeah,
Right?
no big deal.
oh, too funny, man. Oh.
You know, she was showing all these guys her videos and everything, and we talked a lot of people, and like, everybody wants to come on the boat with us today. We're having a double duty day today. We're gonna head out here as soon as we're done the show. We're gonna head over to Paris Lake, and we're filming a collab video with Centurion Boats, and moto meets surf, and we're gonna go surf for half the day, and then we're gonna head out for a ladies' night at Paris Raceway, and we're going to go ride for that at nighttime. So we're gonna have a full day of adventuring, Jim.
Yeah, don't they have an event like that in SoCal called Surfer Cross, but it's actually surfing in the ocean like one day and moto the other day? You guys are like doing your own version of Surfer Cross.
They do, and Robbie Madison usually always teams up with Tara Geiger, and they're both like slayers on the water. And
Tara, she's from Puerto Rico.
bike,
that girl can freaking. She literally, if she didn't go the moto route, I think Tara could have been like world tour good on a surfboard. Like she's that good.
Well,
people don't understand that.
Cross every year down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we should. I'm going to teach Ashley how to ride a dirt bike tonight, so you'll be all ready for Surfer Cross.
Yep,
next year.
So I didn't realize. So you've never ridden a dirt bike, Ashley? I mean, I know you're no stranger to the dirt. I mean, shoot, your brother, right? He's won like a score championship and trophy truck. I mean, like off road.
Yeah, and I've driven his truck many times, but I actually haven't been on a dirt bike since I was like 10 or 11. So it'll be pretty interesting.
But she has. It's like
I have.
It's like, you don't really lose it that much. It depends if you get on. How to clutch or whatnot. Stop. It's okay. You're learning from the best. I do teach motocross schools. I've done this before, and none of my children have died. So you're good.
So we're good.
Yeah.
You guys keep telling yourselves that. No, I'm just glad you guys are documenting it all with video, because this is going to make for some epic good times. I'm kind of excited to see Amy surf. Like, I don't know. Like, I see all these pictures you're posting at the beach with your surfboards and stuff, Hood, but I don't know that I've ever actually seen you on the board in the water, behind a boat, or in the ocean. So
I'm pretty sure I recorded a video yesterday, if you would love to scroll through my Instagram, that I surfed behind a shitty little
that'll get beat before we hit national.
Yeah, you hope behind a crappy little boat on a piece of plywood. So, if I could do it on a piece of plywood, and it was just like this, I got like slivers on my feet, and I had a few adult beverages, and it was a wicked good time, and I was having a blast. I think I just got home from, tour life and in the heat. I went surfing literally on a piece of plywood behind a boat, and I got up and we were cruising. It was awesome. So, and I obviously one of my old friends had a boat company and is a big wake surfer. So, Jim, I know how to get up with the rope, but I can't really cruise a wave and do all the fancy twirls and flippies that this girl does
Amy
here.
to start. She's gonna be throwing airs by the end of the day.
I am. It's my goal.
That'll be rad. Well, I got a bunch of questions. We got to save those for the next segment, because it's like we're going to get Ashley on a tangent here, like talking stuff, and it's going to be all downhill, and we're going to hit the brakes. So, so you guys, so what's the week look like for you guys though this week? I mean, how long are you there, Ashley? What do you guys got lined up, Amy? Obviously, you're hitting the boat today. You're doing moto tonight. What's going on the rest of the week?
Well, Ashley flies out on Wednesday, so we're gonna have a full day of shenanigans and extravaganzas today, where we're going to be so tired that we're just going to probably edit videos all morning Wednesday. But, Wednesday we're going to go to the beach. Ashley is starting a bikini company, so she brought a beautiful little bathing suit for me. We're going to go do a photo shoot on the beach, just getting a lot of things, and I'd really like to Wednesday kind of show her around my hood. And then, Jim, I don't even know if I've told you this, but I booked my one-way ticket to Cabo, and I'm going to be headed back down for the Nora 1000 to get in the finishing, just hang out at the finish line and be there for when all the drivers and riders cruise on to the finish. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. I think that'll be awesome to be at the finish line there. And you're actually driving up, right, from Cabo back to San Diego?
I am.
That's
really,
an adventure in itself.
I know, and I'm really excited to go to the finish because you get to see all the emotion, and I've been to big, long races and nationals and championships, and people cross the finish line, but I understand a 5-day race, what the type of emotion you're going to be seeing at the finish line, and I'm just really excited to be able to, capture that, get some video, and hopefully some good interviews with some legendary people. So I'm excited.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go hang out with my good friend Brittany Cardone, who is with HCR Racing. She's in with her dad, and it's in an old vintage Bronco. It's the raddest race vehicle, but it's like a brown, like a root beer brownish orange. But
that thing is so. I have a photo of it on my Instagram.
Yeah, that's rad. But you'll have to go and have some wine with her down in Cabo or something like that. You guys get along great. So
you know it.
All right, we're gonna take a short break. We come back more with Amy and Ashley Kidd here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renger, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZ, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Want the latest from Jim Beaver and Amy Hood? Follow at JimBeaver15 and at Amy Hood 71 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we are back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. And I just got some news. Heard during the break that nice Subaru commercial there. But I got to say, I got news from my friends at Subaru. They did renew with the Down and Dirty Radio Show and me. I'm very stoked on that. But they are sending me a new 2019 Subaru Ascent SUV. They haven't even hit market yet. It's a full-size SUV from Subaru. This thing is insanely insanely rad, and I'm going to get one of the first ones in North America, from what I understand. And I am very, very happy about that. So I'm going to put some wheels and tires on there, and we're going to get that thing all, I don't know, it could be like a surf wagon or something. I've got off-road trucks, right? We need something to carry some boards and bikes or something. I don't know. That's what I'm feeling. But anyways, talking about boards, here's some questions for you, Ashley, because this is like, I don't know, we gotta switch gears and talk some kind of wake surfing, right? We gotta make this at least like something about you instead of me and Amy just going on about crazy shenanigans. We go on our tangents,
and we bring all
of
our crazy friends along with us.
Yeah, exactly. So no, here's a question, because you and I've interviewed you I don't know how many times at this point, and I've watched you compete here in Parker when you guys have that big event here, but
Yes.
Here's a question for you, and I feel bad because, like, I know how to surf. I wake skate a lot. I actually quit wakeboarding because of my knees, but I took up wake skating, and it's actually
Have you never tried wake surfing?
I've never tried wake surfing, but I can wake skate.
What?
I can do shove-its. I can do, I'm competent. Let's say I'm not good at wake skating, but I'm competent, right? But, like, how does that transition over to wake surfing? I mean, would I be able to pick it up pretty easy?
Oh, yeah. I think you'd be able to get up and drop the rope and pick it up pretty fast. If you can if you can wake skate and wakeboard and all that, you can definitely pick up wake surfing quickly. Definitely. You need to come to Texas and try it out.
Yeah.
No. We got to head to Arizona because Jim lives in pretty much paradise.
Well,
and
Ashley's been here. Ashley competes here every year.
I know. Well, I mean, if we head over to Jim's house, we can, go to the desert. We can drive some trucks. We can do some razors. I'll bring up my dirt bike, and we'll just have a whole weekend of
we could do that.
Sports adventure.
I guess we have to plan a trip now.
Yeah, we could do a wake and razor mashup. We could do like a wake and razor mashup or something like that. Like spend one day on the water, one day in the razors.
Well, I'm gonna have my bike down here, within a month. I'm heading back home for the month of May, and then I'm gonna be driving my life basically back to California. So, we'll probably make a pit stop in Arizona, and I'm going to invite all my friends, and we're going to have a girl powwow with Jim Beaver. It's pretty much how it always is anyway.
I was going to say, I don't know that I signed up for this.
I think you did now that you said you've never wake surfed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I've got no problem with that. I'm excited to learn to wake surf, to be honest with you. I think it's probably I'm going to end up I see with the cable park here, I haven't owned a boat in quite a while. I've been spoiled where I just ride the cable a lot. I mean, then I've got friends with boats. But the problem is with the wake surfing, I'm going to fall in love with it immediately, and then I'm going to be buying a Centurion boat. So, and I don't know that I need that payment right now.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
No, that sounds great. And especially after our video we're going to shoot, we're going to show you how beautiful and capable and wonderful those boats are, and everyone's going to fall in love and buy a lot of Centurion boats.
Especially once they wake surf behind one.
Exactly.
It's insane. You will fall in love with it.
Well, you know what's funny, though, about boats, just wake surfing in general? I remember when wake surfing was in its infancy, because, I mean, I was wakeboarding really heavily at that point in time. Like, I thought I was going to be a competitive wakeboarder, and that never happened, but I got pretty good. But people on the river first started like wake surfing, and they had like full on like longboards and things like that. Like, I mean, this was when it was in its infancy, and now like you've got, obviously your guys' boards are super high tech, but you've got, boats that are being designed with these massive wakes, just specifically for wake surfing. Like, to me, it's crazy that it's really shifted an entire industry. It's got that big.
Yeah, really, wake surfing has grown so much from when I first started. I think it's growing a lot because anybody can wake surf. It's super easy on your body, and it's easy to learn. So anyone that basically any age can learn how to do it, and it's a sport where you can enjoy it with the whole family. So it's growing a lot.
And that's what's kind of cool about it.
The thing about us motocrossers is, I started wakeboarding. And everyone now, every moto kid who we used to go out to the river, everybody has a cabin up in Canada. Everyone's transitioned to wake surfing because our knees get blown out from riding dirt bikes our whole lives, and it's just too hard on the body. And so wake surfing is just that great alternative.
That's why I took up wake skating. Same thing. My knees in the wakeboard, just the way you twist and things like that, it was just putting too much strain on my knees, and I couldn't be clipped in anymore. But yeah, I think that's a true statement, man. Wake surfing is just crazy, and I think you made a key point there. It's it would be just like razors. Like everybody likes them because there's a gateway. You don't have to be good, but everybody can enjoy it, and then you can get as good as you want to get. And wake surfing is the same thing. Everybody can get up, but if you want to be Ashley Kidd good, you got to put in a ton of work. But it's like there's a gateway there, right?
Get on the water every day.
Yeah.
I mean, this girl sitting beside me was like the best tan I've ever seen, and she said this is her like.
This is me white right now. Like I'm not even tan yet.
I'm in the wrong sport. I wear a full-on fire suit, so I ain't getting tan anymore. But no, so I mean, you got a big event coming up soon, don't you?
My first competition is at the end of June in Virginia, and then after that, my season starts up pretty heavily, and I have a contest almost every weekend. And then I got Worlds at the beginning of September in Utah.
Oh, wow. Jim, let's go to Utah. Let's do some live coverage from the World Wake event.
Yeah, no, we could definitely do that. We could go up there and do like a live show or something like that. We'll have to get together and get your schedule. Are you doing? Do they have the event in Parker this year or no? Because I know that was at one point it was a pretty big one, but I don't know if they're even having it this year.
They did have the Worlds in Parker before, but now they switched it over to Utah. So they've been picking a new spot every year now.
Nice. Well, no, seriously, we'll get your schedule, and Amy and I will fly in and do like a live show. It'd be fun. We'll make something happen.
Yeah.
That'd be rad.
That would be a lot of fun.
Do you guys do wakeboarding and wake surfing at the same time, or is it two different kind of?
So like the World Championships, it's different.
Okay.
Yeah,
no
two separate ones. Competitions, a lot of them are separate. Some of them have wakeboarding and wake surfing together, but that's the pro wakeboard tour. Okay. But there's no women's division in that. So Is it got, and I know at one point in time, like talking with you and, I mean, is it like, I know in any action sport, there's very few people making money at it, but it has, like, I mean, you're a 4-time world champion. Obviously, when people go, hey, I'm going to sponsor a wake surfer, like, you're probably at the top of the list. Like, I mean, has it got to the point with, like, tour earnings and things like that where where you can actually make a living at this? I mean, because they know a lot of action sports athletes, they've got side gigs doing whatever they can, you know what I mean, so they can continue to do their thing. I mean, has it got to the point where, you're at least, able to break even and make a living at this? So with wake surfing, there's very few athletes that can make a living with this. But yes, I am one of the athletes that makes a living with this. Wake surfing is my full-time job between competitions, teaching lessons, and I started my own board company and bikini company. So I've got quite a bit of things going on. But yeah, I wake surf full-time, and I love it.
Dang. So I need
Welcome to the big leagues.
So I feel like
small leagues,
I'm decorating this office in here, or this studio, and I know, like, I'm getting a Anita Strauss guitar, who she's a Monster Energy athlete, but she's lead guitarist for Alice Cooper. She's on the podcast, but I'm feeling like I need to order an Ashley Kidd Pro Model wake surfboard and have you sign it and have that, like, hanging on one of the walls. I have, like, guitars and wake surfboards. Like, I'm getting the studio design in my head, so I think I need to go online and order one of your signature model boards or something.
You need the signature pink one.
Yeah, I love that one. I told her when she breaks it, I really want, like, half the surfboard so I can tell people, like, she got bit by a shark or something.
A shark in the lake.
I'm sure in the lake. A gator. How's that?
Oh.
And, but yeah, so we'll definitely add a couple pieces. Oh, hey, Jim, I'll get half of the broken board and you get the other half.
That works perfect for me. Seriously, that would be rad.
That'd be funny.
It's a better story to have a broken one.
It's one of those friendship necklaces, but it's a friendship Ashley Kidd surfboard that will come together and have half pieces. Oh, I love it.
It's a good idea.
That's rad. So are you still?
So yeah, I'm pretty stoked because we're gonna be filming or recording an episode for the Wild Ones tomorrow. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got into some really deep conversations about girls and growing up, and we got some like serious life lessons that we're gonna be discussing and discussing like females and the industry and kind of the hard times and the good times and how to get through the hard times and stuff like that. Kind of coming from both perspectives, land or water. It wasn't easy for both of us, so I'm excited to record that episode tomorrow. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the story. And you know what's going to be fun is I know, like, I've had Ashley on this show a couple times now, but her and I did a sit down and we did, like, I think it was about an hour long talking about her career and things like that. And so, like, I've been able to tell that story with Ashley, but Amy has such a different way of interviewing people than I do. I'm kind of excited to see her version, and how she helps you tell this story. Like, I think, like, between the two of them, we're going to get two completely different takes on Ashley Kidd. So I'm really excited to hear Amy's, the way she does this interview, because my way is just completely different. So I think this is really going to be kind of fun, especially for listeners who listened to that one last year that you and I did, Ashley.
Yeah, definitely. I think
we always get
a lot of different perspectives.
Yeah, from girl to girl, right? Just shooting the poop and talking, like, just between girls. And, like, you get on a tangent. And, like, even in the car yesterday, like, we were just wide open talking about boys and guys. And, like, oh, my God. And we both, like, found this new friendship over dating losers for, ever. And, like
we both have that in common.
Oh my God! Like, going nowhere, doing nothing with our lives, losers, and both of us. So we find this good bond, but then we just get on this tangent, and it makes for great radio. So I'm like, hey, we got to redo this conversation, on it. But no, it was really cool, and it's really cool to meet again. This is rad because Jim, Ashley and I met through social media. We met through Jim. We met because we've been following each other, and then she hits me up. Do you want to go record a video through Instagram? And now we've, like, this new, like, best friendship, which is awesome. And, like, that's the power of social media and action sports these days is, it brings our world so much closer. And, like, I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to take a short break. You guys go and have some fun, and we'll definitely chat soon. But thanks for taking the time, Amy and Ashley, and talk soon.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Bye. And we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
You're listening to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. All killer and no filler.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Right now, we're going to kick off our Continental Tire IMSA takeover, where Amy Hood and I were out at the Long Beach Grand Prix. Got to hang out with a lot of the Continental Tire prototype drivers. Had a ton of fun. We're going to kick it off with one of my favorite interviews of the weekend, Ryan DL. All right, out here at Long Beach Grand Prix, we got Ryan DL. Everybody keeps saying Ryan DL, and I got to have you pronounce your last name because DL's not working for me.
Dalziel is actually
Dalziel.
That's not right. It just looks like that, but it's DL. It's actually a really fairly common Scottish name where I'm from. Actually, my part of Scotland is a common name.
So literally, that's rad because I would have thought it was Dalziel. It's just DL.
I have a good DL story. I drove a few years ago for Dodge Viper, and we were doing an auto show, and they were introducing the 6 drivers there for the year, and had a Belgian guy and an American and a Dutch guy, and so they got to me, and the girl didn't know how to pronounce my name, so she said, "How do you pronounce your name?" I said, "It's just DL," and she gone, "It's not Dalziel?" I said, "No, it's just DL. It's easy, DL." So she introduces all the drivers, and then all of a sudden, Ryan just DL. Comes out.
My God.
Yeah. And my teammate that year, one of the teammates was Tommy Kendall. You guys know him?
Oh, I know
Tommy. And Tommy, I thought Tommy was going to wet himself on stage.
That is too great. Now I understand, and I'm going to make you feel better. Everybody's been making you feel bad all week, but your birthday yesterday, right? You're 36. Well, I'm 37, so I'm going to tell you, I got you clipped already by a year, so you're all right.
But there's nothing good after that, is there?
I mean, you are getting closer to 40 now, so you just have to lie about it. You know, you can play that role of that girl.
She's throwing you under the bus.
I am. I mean, I'm 29. I feel like I'm getting old because I'm closer to 30, which is almost 40, you know. But I just have a 21st birthday every year. Like, I have a 21st birthday for 8 years now. I've only ever had a 21st birthday card. Like, I refuse to accept the ones that are, 22, 23. But, I mean, you can just start lying about it.
To me, it's just a number, and you're meant to say you're only as old as the woman you feel, right? However, my wife's older than me, so that doesn't work.
My line was, you're only as old as the boys you date, but now getting older, I don't want to really, that sounds really creepy to use that line. But, yeah, I mean, now, but, hey, so we were talking on off air before this, but I always love to, get that behind the scenes talking, but, 36 years, and you've never been to Monster Jam. You've never seen a Monster Jam event.
No, and I am obsessed with them, and I feel like I need to drive one at some point. And I live in Orlando, and it's there every year. But we always race at Daytona at the same time. So I'm bummed. I'm going to go though. I need to.
Well, that's where Feld Entertainment, who owns Monster Jam, we're located in Palmetto, Florida. So I'm surprised because the Orlando show is like an iconic. Everybody goes down there. I mean. And, coming over to the U.S., I mean, monster trucks is like a given. You have to. It's like America, monster trucks. Yeah. I think it's something you need to experience.
This is Canadian.
I'm a Canadian, so I can say this because, I mean, you're Scottish, so.
I'm dual.
You're dual.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you have a really, fine accent, so.
I have been in the States, so I came over to race in 2002. I moved full-time-ish 2005 and 6, and then I became a citizen.
Yeah, your wife.
And when did I become a citizen? I think it was only like 2 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, which really does nothing for me, right? I had a green card, so I'm just the same, except now I can go jury duty with who wants to do that.
Well, the fact that now that you are a dual citizen, you have to go see a monster truck race because you have to have that all-American experience.
Done.
Oh, it's too funny. So we got to talk about Long Beach because we're having too much fun out here. But Long Beach Grand Prix, we're out here. I know you said you guys got close to this one last year, right? I know it was a post on Instagram. You're like, man, we were close. We got to do it this year. But I mean, take us through last year and then rolling into this year. I mean, shoot, we're 3 rounds in this year too. So
yeah, last year I think we lost the lead with 3 laps to go with traffic. And it was kind of an unexpected race for us because we weren't that good in practice, and all of a sudden it just came to us, and that's nice. That's usually the good ones to win. So we came second, and then this year's been miserable for my car. We retired early at Daytona. We crashed out at the first turn of the 12 hours of Sebring. We call it the 7 seconds of Sebring for my car. We had a good practice so far today, so we'll see. I don't know if we have the best car here. It's hard to tell. This place changes a lot. We're the track sweepers first thing in the morning. Track changes a lot before qualifying, and then it's totally different again after IndyCar. So you got a lot of different rubbers going down, and with the Continentals, we go out after different manufacturers. And so for us, you don't really know what you get every time. We know what we get on a normal race weekend where it's just Continental tires and just IMSA running. But when you throw in multiple manufacturers and different brands and different lines and different everything, you got trucks jumping off things. So we never know what to expect. But based on years of doing this, we have an idea.
Well, and that being said, I know, we were sitting and listening to IndyCar press conference, and they were talking about, laying down rubber and things like that. I mean, how, does it affect the grip? I mean, with the other rubbers and then you guys running over the top of it and things like that. I mean, how's that affect, your driving style? I mean, do you have to take it easy the first couple, in laps when you're going out for practice just to kind of get a feel for the track?
Yeah, I mean, the key thing for us is we run first. We're the first professional cars on track. We had a 2-hour practice, track screen. Nobody's really run since last year. So even throughout that 2 hours, it's massively different by the time you get to the end. So we don't take a huge amount of what we learn in first practice and carry over. Practice 2 is kind of the one where now IndyCar run and a bunch of different stuff, and we have a short practice before qualifying, and that's kind of to make or break time, make sure you've made the right changes. Or in our case, we've changed nothing. We felt like the way our car finished is going to be good once you go out after IndyCar practice. But the line changes a lot with IndyCar because the cars are lighter, they have more grip. They take generally a little bit of a narrower line than we would with a heavier car. But for us, you've got 2 options. You drive your line and you're on no rubber and there's no grip, or you drive on the sticky black rubber that they've laid down. So we have to adjust a little bit our line, but I think the guys that have done this race enough times kind of know what to expect.
Well, and you're a guy that you've got that open wheel experience, your race champ car. I mean, so you kind of have you feel like that adds to some of your knowledge base, especially at a race like this where you guys are running the same track?
Makes me sound old, yeah. Oh my God, retired IndyCar driver that ended up in sports cars. Because my IndyCar career was when I was like 24. So, no, I think understand. I always say this to, we race multi-class racing in IMSA. We have GTs and we have prototypes. And I feel like the best drivers in each category are the guys that have done both. The guys that understand what the strengths and weaknesses are of each car. As far as the IndyCar goes, it's so different to what we do. The cars are just a lot quicker in the corners. They're lighter. They have bigger tires, more downforce. Although we do have a lot more horsepower than them, so I think that's cool because everybody wants horsepower.
Nothing beats horsepower. Well, Amy and I were talking about, obviously you guys got Continental backing, but you guys also have to have one of the best sponsors in racing, right? I mean, it's got to be fun being represented by Patron. I know Amy and I were talking. You've got to have some good drinks, right, Hood?
Well, I am actually deathly allergic to tequila, so I wouldn't be joining you on that party. And not on the allergic side where I'll just be the first, line on the dance floor. But agave can't do it. But, you must have the fun pits after the event. Am I right?
I feel like you need to try Patron, just in case maybe you're not allergic. It does, but ours is really good stuff. It's maybe worth trying. If it's free, you would try it.
Well, as long as...
I mean, how sick do you get?
Well... You have to be willing to shoot me in the leg with an EpiPen if I blow up like a blowfish. You think you can handle that?
Yes.
Okay. Challenge accepted then.
I feel like we should put this on social media and we'll do a test at the end of the weekend.
Honestly, I'm down for that. Like you have to be able to hit me with that EpiPen because throat will close up and I will die. But again, challenge accepted. I do like an adventure. I like to walk on the wild side.
Yeah, well, maybe we need to do some liability waivers before we go into this, and maybe have some medics.
Patron isn't endorsing this.
Yes, Patron are not involved. But as a sponsor goes, amazing, right? I mean, it's kind of driver's dream come true. Yeah. It's one of the best teams in the paddock. I've been with them since 2014, and as much as it's a cool product and a great product, the people who run Patron are the just absolute best people you ever meet. I mean, generous company. A company just sold for billions of dollars, and it's privately owned by two guys that you would just never meet. Two more humble, super nice guys. Guys you go have, burgers with. They're not at all what you would expect. And so they've put everything in this team to give us what we need, and the drinking's pretty good. I definitely was. I struggled the first year when I joined the team. You go every
too many shots of Patron, right?
Every event we went to, they're just holding trays of Patron on the rocks. So I never really drank Patron before that. Never drank tequila. By the end of the first year, I was a pro. I've been to the factory a couple times in Mexico, which is just phenomenal. You got to look up some of the videos online.
Did you get to see the fields and all that? Did you get to see
everything?
Oh, that's
amazing. Patron do everything from the growing process to the bottling to the cork. They own their own cork company. I mean, it's amazing. Every single part of it. And then on the other side of it, as a company, just to kind of say what we're saying, how good they are. Everybody in Mexico has free schooling. They have free education. They have daycares. Everybody gets picked up at their houses and taken to work. I mean, you go down this factory and it's like an amusement park. They have their own swimming pool. They give swimming lessons to the kids. Oh my gosh. Everybody has medical coverage. To work there is like a huge honor in the town of Tequila.
Well, talking about savvy business, you're the founder of racecarcoaches.com, which I think is really cool because most drivers are given individual driving coaching, but you've created this network of experienced drivers and they call it the Yelp of driver coaches websites. And tell us a little bit more about that and why you chose to go that route instead of just offering your own personal services.
So it came from that. I mean, every driver, especially sports car drivers, a lot of our additional kind of supplementary income comes from coaching. And so a lot of the questions I used to ask, I did a fair amount of coaching, especially in slower years, but the past 3-4 years I've been doing too much racing, which is a great problem to have.
Great.
That's the best problem. Trust me, it's doing multiple series gets kind of tiring, but I wouldn't change it. So what happened was a lot of the clients I had wanted referrals. Now, then you come into different levels of drivers and income. Well, it basically came to people that would say to me, well, do you know anybody in upstate New York? Because I can't really afford to fly somebody from Florida. So the initial idea behind the site was actually just to find geographically where the coaches were, and then to also kind of wean out some of the crap that's out there, because it's a dangerous business to be a coach as much as a driver, and I think a lot of people are taken advantage of in the track day world. And I have a lot of friends who are businessmen and entrepreneurs who bought a 911, went to the track, and they're telling me who their great coach is, and then you soon find out that that's not really as great as they would think. So for me, it was just trying to put together good people initially that were location based. But now it's kind of developed more into just a good place to find coaches. A lot of the guys that have been contacted through the site, it's not for local jobs, it's for national jobs or international jobs. And, it's gone a lot better than I thought it was going to go. I mean, I started it thinking, hey, why not? I got nothing else to do in the off season.
That's usually how that starts. You start with something small, and if it's a great idea, which this is, it's different. No one else is really offering that. So, and then it blows up, and then you're having to take your summers off of racing to manage this amazing thing you have going on, which you'll never do.
Maybe that's the retirement plan, but
plan B.
The good thing I think about it is that nobody has a dollar number. It's all one-on-one. The whole point of the site is to connect coaches to clients. And then everything they do off of the site is up to them. So the initial, I don't make any money off the client. There's not a service fee, there's not a commission. The coaches advertise, and then what they discuss off the site and how many days they want to do, it's totally up to them.
And we'll be back to wrap things up with Ryan DL after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Do you race or are you a weekend warrior? Have you checked on the date on your helmet recently? Don't get caught off guard by using an outdated helmet. Impact Racing, the leader in motorsport safety, has new SA 2015 helmets to fit your budget. Whether you're looking for a helmet with a full carbon fiber shell to take you to victory at the Indy 500, or just looking for some helmets for a weekend at Glamis, Impact Racing has a helmet for you. Find out more information at ImpactRaceProducts.com or on Facebook at Impact Safety. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
You're listening to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. All killer and no filler.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Wrapping up this Continental Tire interview with Ryan DL right about now. So wrapping things up here, I mean, how do we get this monkey of 2018 off your back and get you guys on the podium here at Long Beach this weekend?
Long Beach has always been good to me. It was my anniversary this week. It was my birthday yesterday. I'm owed one at this track. And
I call that a seasoned vet.
A seasoned veteran.
Vet. You know, you're not old. You're seasoned.
No, in racing, that's your like retirement age if you're seasoned. I remember coming into IMSA I was a young kid, and now I'm the veteran. That's quite depressing.
Well, the thing about a veteran, though, and I just reference this with Supercross because I am a two-wheeler for life. But, you find that these seasoned riders, if you will, or vets, they have a lot more experience. They're not going in guns of glory. You have your cool, calm, collected now. You've taken it all and you've been here before. You've done this before. So you kind of have a different mindset than a lot of these young guns.
I would agree with that, and I think a perfect example, and it kind of humbles me a little bit, is my teammate in the other car, People Durrani, who's kind of the hottest property right now, I think, in prototypes. I think People's 24, 25, and he told me this morning, he's like, "You're not old, my friend, you're just experienced." Yeah. And I've been good with him because him and we worked well together, and I remember kind of being the 24-year-old, and now I'm the 26-year-old. So I'm trying to rub some of my experience onto him, and then also get some of my speed back by watching him.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. You guys can really play off each other. But I do think, and I'm a veteran in my sport too, so when I'm out there racing, these younger girls are kicking my butt. But I can, when I was younger racing and driving, I was so caught up in the moment. When it's your first time at a big event, a new place, you really, get kind of blinded by the lights sometimes. So now I can kind of come in with this mentality that I've been here before, I've done this, I got this time around.
Yeah, I remember I got taken up in a fighter jet one time. I drove for a team in open wheel the Reno Air races, and they had all these L-39 display jets. And I was 21 at the time. And the guy who was the captain or the pilot, it's a pilot, right? He was about 90 years old. And they had to help him up the stairs into the cockpit. And I thought it was a joke the whole time. I'm like, how is this guy going to take me up and do barrel rolls? And so then they start teaching all the breathing exercises about how to stop passing out, right? You have to, remember as a kid, you would get the blood in your head. Yeah. So that's how you have to do it. And he's teaching me all this stuff, and he's like, but don't worry, when we're up there, I'll talk you through it. Yeah. Sure enough, we go up there, and he's like, okay, we're going to do a barrel roll, whatever it was. And he starts telling you what to do. And I remember when he was knocking me out, I could still hear his voice talking. And when we landed, I said to him, I was like, man, you can barely walk. How did you manage to do that and talk me through? And he's like, because years of doing it, you learn how to do it, and you're less stressed, and you have all these different things. It's exactly what you said. It's, I feel like every time I come to a racetrack, it's another year of doing it, and I feel like I know Long Beach by the back of my hand. My first ever race in the U.S. was here in 2002. So
there you go. With age comes advantage.
Let's hope so.
And we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
You're listening to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. All killer and no filler.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here, kicking off hour number 2. It's still hour number 1, the close of hour number 1 for you listening online. If you're listening in national syndication, welcome. It is hour number 2 in your world, but man, it's been a fun one so far. Ryan DL, Ashley Kidd, Amy Hood. We've got a ton of fun coming at you in hour number 2. We've got we're going to talk some Red Bull Global Rallycross, their shutdown. We've got a Dirtfish Rally report coming at you, some Supercross. We got Colin Braun, as well as Jordan Taylor and Renger van der Zande in our Continental Tire Takeover. So we got a lot of good stuff coming at you in hour number 2. Speaking of good stuff, we're only a couple of weeks away from Amy Hood's new podcast called Wild Ones coming at you through the Down and Dirty Radio Show, network. So if you, the easiest way to get Amy's, it's going to be available on the website at downanddirtyshow.com, but it's also going to be available on iTunes. So you need to go over there and subscribe. If you subscribe where Down and Dirty Show is, you're going to get Amy Hood's podcast as well. That and the Down and Dirty Radio Show will be distributed on the same feed. So you're going to get both shows if you're subscribing to one or the other. So making it really easy for you guys to get all of your content. And also my good friend Jim Riley dropping tomorrow, Wednesday, the 25th. Could be today if you're listening nationally or listening delayed online. But he's dropping a brand new podcast called The Answer Is Yes. He's going to interview some business leaders, some motivational speakers, some athletes, people who have said yes to things in their everyday life, and it's got them to where they are today. I think it's going to be an amazing podcast. You guys are really going to enjoy that. It's called The Answer Is Yes with Jim Riley, and you guys are going to dig it. Trust me. I'm helping him produce this thing, and I'm very impressed with how it's turning out. So you're looking for another good podcast from an off-road racer? The answer is yes with Jim Riley. That one coming at you tomorrow. Actually, it's going to be live. You can subscribe already. His teaser is out there. But we're going to take a short break. We come back. We got a Dirtfish Rally report coming at you here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
Welcome back to your favorite action motorsports radio show, also known as the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. This hour being brought to you by our good friends at Continental Tire, sponsoring these amazing IMSA interviews. We got Colin Braun, Jordan Taylor, and Renger van der Zande coming up in hour number 2. Right now, though, this is normally where we have our Joe Duncan segment brought to you by our good friends at Optimus Starters. But right now we are going to roll into a Dirtfish Rally Report because we've got a ton of rally content to talk about this week. Not only rally content, well, we've got rally and rallycross. So we're going to be talking about that, brought to you by our good friends at Dirtfish Rally School. Use the coupon code JBDirtfish, and it'll get you 15% off all classes at Dirtfish Rally School. So, if you decide to go up there, you can get a discount on me. I know I'll be up there a few times this year. Looking forward to it. Always looking forward to it. But, that is, I guess, our intro to our Dirtfish Rally Report. We had a big rally. We I don't know, we go in cycles on rally on this show where we talk a lot of it, then we don't talk about it for a while. But I got to tell you, this one, Oregon Trail Rally, the kickoff to the ARA Series this year. We've got 2 national series in the United States now, Rally America and ARA. ARA using a lot of the rallies that used to be on the Rally America calendar. But Subaru really heavily involved with the new ARA Series that's a couple years deep now. But this was probably, I had to go back a few years, and was it 2015? might have been 2015. We had the Rally America Rally. Ken Block, David Higgins, Travis Pastrana, Ramana Lagaman driving an R5 from Europe. Brendo was there. We had Adam Yeoman. There was a massive list of competitors at the New England Forest Rally, and it would, at that point in time, was one of the biggest stage rallies we had in the United States in quite some time. Well, Oregon Trail Rally is the biggest rally since then. I wouldn't put this one up with that, but I would say it's pretty darn close. And it's definitely worth talking about. You had David Higgins, you had Ken Block in that Ford Focus or that Ford Escort RS Cosworth, Barry McKenna in that beautiful S2000 he brought over from the UK. Jeff Seahorn, was there. It was a really, really good list. I mean, the list goes on. Lucy Block was racing in her R2 Fiesta. David Higgins ended up coming out on top. I know the big the excitement around this event was that Chris Atco Atkinson, David Higgins Subaru Rally Team USA teammate, he was going to be competing in stage rally, under the SRT banner, driving that second open class vehicle. Atco obviously WRC experience. Everybody was hoping that he could push Higgins. Atco ended up having a small fire on day 2, and it ended up obviously taking him. I guess not out of the rally. They were able to super rally and come back, but it was definitely it basically took him out of contention, right? He did end up finishing though, so that was kind of a bummer there. But David Higgins ended up taking the overall win. You had Jeff Seahorn, solid effort there with Karen Jankowski finishing second overall, winning his class. And then Ken Block and Alex Gelsomino sneaking in there for the third podium spot. Solid effort by Ken in that vintage car. I know there was a lot of things surrounding that effort, wondering, hey, how fast is he going to be in that car? And I know they've got some teething issues, but I got to tell you, overall, I was very impressed with the showing there. Barry McKenna, super quick in that Ford Fiesta S2000. He ended up going on his lid on day number 3, so he ended up, not necessarily, finishing as high as he normally would have. Travis Neese rounding out your top 5. Other couple notables down there. Lucy Block, 12th overall on the podium in her two-wheel drive. Got to give her definitely a big shout out. Chris Atkinson finishing up in 17th overall. And then Cameron Steele, 19th overall. My good friend Cameron moving into the all-wheel drive classes. Another guy that was lightning quick in his Subaru Crosstrek they brought down from Canada was Connor Martell, but he ended up retiring out. And you had Michelle Miller, Sam Albert, my good friends from Dirtfish. They retired out too, had a fire. Tino Fortunato, he had a fire, massive fire. He retired. It was like 3 different fires. It was crazy. I don't know what the deal was with the fires up there at Oregon Trail, but man, it claimed 3 beautiful cars. So we're talking about really nice builds. So it's just fluke deal, but 3 of them in one rally, crazy. And I know on our Instagram feed at Down and Dirty Show, we posted a picture of Tino's car before and after, and that thing is smoked, man. He's there's nothing, not one part salvageable on it. Definitely a heartbreaker for him. He had a beautiful 2015 STI rally car. So yeah, moving on, some big GRC news. Obviously, by now, you guys know that GRC is no longer folded up. 2018 is not going to happen. There's all kinds of articles going around on the internet. A lot of it's hearsay. Jalopnik, they brought the dirt. What do you expect out of Jalopnik, right? They're going to do that. I've got some good friends that are writers over there. There's been a lot of things swirling. They changed classes. Subaru and Andretti pulled out. Steve Arpin, obviously, he's running the new America's Rallycross series. That's coming over with FIA and World Rallycross, that IMG is promoting. So all this kind of swirling around, everybody wondered, what is going to happen with GRC, right? Well, boom, they put out a press release. It's doors closed, right? Well, now the dirt is coming out. Our friends at Jalopnik helped to bring that to light, as well as quite a few others. Auto Week covered it and things like that. But GRC, it looks like they were in massive debt, unpaid bills. They've got lawsuits now going on. It's definitely going to be a long 2018 for GRC, not necessarily because of the competition on track, but because of the battle that they're going to have in the courtroom. So Jalopnik has it. Just search GRC 2018 Jalopnik on Google, and I think it'll pull it right up. It's it names Subaru in the title, but everything I understand, and I got to tell you, I'm tied in with Subaru. You know that if you're listening to the show. But I'm one of those that stay neutral on things. But in this case, there is no merit, from what I understand, in what GRC is pegging on Subaru of America. So I think Subaru of America is completely in the clear. I think this is GRC throwing stuff at the wall, hoping something sticks at this point, trying to save some kind of a face. But I think anybody in motorsports knows, you've seen the teams pull out. I mean, Chip Ganassi pulled out a couple years ago. It seems like all these big teams can block. All these big teams that have come in, immediately they're here a year or two, boom, gone. There's many reasons for that, I'm sure. But bills, lawsuits, you name it, it seems like it's being thrown around in regards to global rallycross right now. So 2018 is done. I would say that 2019 probably not looking so good either. Not that I'm necessarily going out on a limb with that, but just saying, I don't know that 2019 is going to happen again either. I guess the sad part for me, I worked for the series for 2 years. I have a lot of friends over there. I have no ill will with GRC. These are just facts. I know I have some friends that got burned pretty bad by the series. But what they did was they brought rally to the masses in the United States, and Chip over there, and especially Chip, because he was kind of the original, and then Colin came in. But I got to say, man, they brought rally and rallycross to the United States, man. And rally was here, but it wasn't a household thing. They gave guys like Brian Deegan, Tanner Faust, Ken Block a platform, guys like Steve Arpin to make a career, Scott Speed. Where would he be if it wasn't for rallycross? So I'll always be thankful, one, the GRC took a flyer on a young talent, which is me, and allowed me to work for the series, put me in the booth, commentating races. And without GRC, I don't know that I would be where I'm at today without the opportunities they afforded me. I met some of my absolute best friends in the industry because of Red Bull Global Rallycross. I'll always be thankful for that. And you as fans, I mean, you guys are very passionate. I know you guys. I remember we had some live streams on my website where we're doing commentary of the races and things like that. And very passionate group. You guys definitely. You were hard on GRC, but it was because you loved it. And I think we all love the racing. We love the storylines, the series. And it's definitely, I think this new America's Rallycross is going to be amazing. I think it's going to take Rallycross in the United States to a new level. But, it is sad to see GRC go. So wishing everybody at the series the best. And, hopefully everybody lands on their feet. And, so we're going to take a short break, and we come back. We're going to continue on with these Continental Tire interviews. We got Colin Braun with Core Autosport. He's a prototype driver in IMSA on Continental Tires. He's coming up right after this break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RZRLife to share your story. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the two-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. We are kicking off our hour number 2. That is brought to you by our good friends at Continental Tire. And right now we're going to jump into some interviews that Amy Hood and I did out at the Long Beach Grand Prix with some of the best in IMSA prototype racing on those Continental tires. So kicking things off, here is Colin Braun. Catching up here with Colin Braun. We're out here at the Long Beach Grand Prix. Jim Beaver and Amy Hood here. And I don't know, we've been talking before we got on the mic and all this good content. Now it's like, it'll probably be crickets, right, now that we're on the mic.
Say, now it'll get serious and nobody will laugh and it'll be all stuffy.
Not with us.
So, no, I mean, we were talking. I know one thing that Amy and I, we were like looking over your stats. Like, the one thing that's awesome about you've driven pretty much a little bit of everything in your career, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've driven, sports cars like we're racing here in Long Beach. I've driven GRC cars. I've driven NASCAR trucks, the cars. I mean, you name it. I've kind of driven it. Not trophy trucks, though, so that's cool.
What about a monster truck? Have you driven a monster truck either?
No. I actually rode in one when I was like 5 years old. They came to town. Yep, and I rode in the back of Bigfoot, real slow. That was fun. But yeah, I'd like to drive one.
It's funny because everybody's got some type of monster truck story in their career. Like, it doesn't matter where you're at. You've been to one. You've seen something. You've had an experience, right?
Yeah, you have to, right? I mean, they're cool. What kid doesn't love a monster truck?
Yeah, it's like larger than life. But speaking of that, I mean, take us through this weekend. We'll talk about your career here in a second. But I mean, Long Beach Grand Prix. I mean, we're back here. This is one of the premier events. I mean, on the calendar. I mean, how's things shaping up for you guys this year?
Yeah, it's good so far. We're second. Those are long races, 24 hours at Daytona, 12 hours at Sebring. We come here to Long Beach, it's 100 minutes. So a big shift in strategy and the intensity and sort of the how the race sort of unfolds. So definitely a lot different, but shaping up good. I mean, we've had our first practice. We were decent in that. A lot of just the raw speed and pace of our car, really important. So we've been working hard to try to make it as fast as we can and less worried about, reliability and those kind of things.
Well, looking back at your career, I know looked at one point you were and I don't know if it still stands, but the youngest driver ever to stand on the podium at Le Mans. I mean, how is that? That's got to be one of those things you look back on, and just to stand on the podium there at any time in your career is a big deal. But to be the youngest driver ever, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was a cool year. I was 17, I think, and my first time at Le Mans. So being 17, coming to Le Mans, finishing second, I kind of wish I could go back and really take it and soak it back in, because I was a little bit of a punk, I was 17 years old, showed up, finished second, and I was like, well, I don't know, that sucks. I wanted to win the race. And so looking back on it, I wish I would have, taken it in a little bit more and enjoyed it a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, amazing event, really cool. That record still stands, I think, as it is now. So yeah, a lot of fun, really cool event, and love to get back there.
Well, and how has the transition been? I mean, because you've done so much. I mean, and I know you threw in some global rallycross a couple years ago. You spent a lot of time in NASCAR. I mean, you've bounced back and forth between road racing and, a little bit of everything. I mean, how's that come into play now here in IMSA, running prototype cars like you're doing? I mean, how is that, all that you've taken in your career transition over into where you're at now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all builds on itself. It all helps, right? And so, it's definitely different what we're doing now than what the GRC was, than what the NASCAR racing was. But, it makes you a good, well-rounded race car driver that can drive, different kinds of cars. I think it all sort of leads to, being a proficient race car driver, doing whatever. And so, I think it all is helpful and definitely different, adaptable. And, what you learn over here may not directly apply to what's going on over here, but it sort of all helps in general.
Take it away. So now I hear you transition to the coaching side of the world, and being 29, it's pretty impressive because usually people. Oh, so
By
old.
race car standards, it's bizarre to call that old. But
Yeah,
here I'm at 37 trying to figure out, what's next for me, right? It's like. Yeah.
Well, you're old in the two-wheel side of the world, but usually people transition to that at the end of their career. But I think it's really cool. Again, you've driven and ridden pretty much anything on four wheels. So how important is that to you as a younger driver to be able to give that knowledge back to the younger up-and-coming generation?
Yeah, I think it's important, and for me, the sports car schedule, from what I was used to doing some NASCAR racing, doing 30-plus races a year, came back to sports car racing where they do 10 or 12, and I looked around like, wow, what else can you do, right? What am I going to – yeah, so started getting into the coaching thing, which has been fun and neat, and in a different way, it's fulfilling, right? It's fun to help see guys improve and get better at their craft, so that's been a lot of fun as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that being said, I mean, we're out here at Long Beach. I mean, what's it going to take for you guys to, put this thing on top of the box?
Yeah, I mean, about getting to the end of the race, even though it's a sprint race and it's intense. I mean, it's a lot of, contact here, a lot of yellow flags usually. And so we got to get in a position where we can contend at the end, but then we're going to need the speed at the end of the race. So, yeah, it's going to be tough, and, they all are. These aren't easy to win.
Well, and that's what's funny. You mentioned contact. And I look at these beautiful cars you guys are racing, and a lot of people think, racing's not a contact sport. They see NASCAR and they think that, but they think road racing and things. And I mean, you guys are banging doors. I mean, that's gotta be, at some point, do you cringe? You're like, oh man, I'm driving this car that's $1 million car, and here we are banging doors.
Yeah, no, not too much. I mean, it's part of the job, right? It's part of what you got to do, and you got to get after it. And, sometimes I'm like, gosh, I wish that guy wouldn't hit me because that didn't really do a lot except cost a little bit of damage. But, part of the deal. It's fun.
Some point, do you ever look back and you look at these cars you're driving and you look at your career and go, man, this is pretty, like, it's humbling at some point, right?
Yeah, it's neat, to look back and see all the different places I've gotten to travel and the different cars and different people and all the things that I've gotten to do has been a lot of fun. It's been a neat journey and, one that I don't think you could repeat exactly, just kind of where the water takes you.
Well, and you're only 29. Like, you have such a big career still ahead of you because every time you kind of transition into something different. So you got to remember, especially in the four-wheel side of the world, you're still young. Like, it's going to be really exciting to see where all of this takes you in the next 30 years.
Yeah, who knows? I feel like it's been a long career, and I feel like I'm a year away from being retired. No, I'm kidding. But, it's been a lot of fun, and who knows where it's going to go. It's going to be fun.
Well, and and I think too, road racing. I mean, a lot of guys come into, you look at a guy like Helio who's coming in later in his career. You're here in IMSA racing, and you've got a really good feel for all the tracks. I mean, the knowledge and the data that you can bring to a team, that's, that you've been able to accumulate. It's like, you've got. I look at things and go, man, you've got a lot of years left in your career just because you made the transition to road racing so early.
Yeah, I think there's a sweet spot of youthful exuberance and experience that cross, and we see in sports car racing, obviously, the longer the careers are, I think you gain more of that experience, and so I think being young and still having the experience that I have, I think is in a good sweet spot at the moment. But yeah, I'm excited to keep going.
All right, that was Colin Braun, driver for Core Autosport, in the IMSA series, driving a prototype on Continental tires. And this guy, I really enjoyed talking with Colin. Even afterwards, Amy and I came back and we were able to actually not climb through. They were getting ready to race, but he basically showed us inside the cockpit of his prototype car. And I got to tell you, you want to talk about literally like a freaking fighter jet. So impressive. the switches, I can't remember which feed it was on my personal Instagram or the Down and Dirty Radio Show one that I took a picture of the cockpit. That's one of my things you'll notice through like my pictures, whether it be IndyCar or NHRA, like trophy trucks. I always like to put a point of view like you're sitting in the driver's seat, right? And you can look out and see like the screens, the steering wheel, all the switches, the buttons. Like I geek out on stuff like that. I totally geek out on stuff like that. So I always like to snag a picture, and I've been fortunate enough in this career, whatever this career is of mine, that I get access behind the scenes to all these cars, and I get to climb in them, and I get to see take pictures and do things that normal fans don't get to do. And don't get me wrong, I am a fan, absolutely a fan. So I just try and share that with you guys, and big thanks to Colin. I know him and I are talking about having him come out and do some razors sometime or something like that. Like, he really wants to experience some dirt stuff, and obviously he raced in Global Rallycross for a year or two in the Light Series, I believe, with Core Autosport, and had a he took some podiums, obviously competitive there, and but prototypes, man, that's like the pinnacle of a road racer's career, being able to go to Le Mans and race prototypes and IMSA and 24 Hours of Daytona and things like that. So, obviously him, switching gears and going to Rallycross full-time in his career or something like that, probably not going to happen anytime soon, especially the current state of Rallycross. Just a class act, super talented young guy. And, he's a guy too, he's mid-20s and, he's a good-looking dude. He's got a lot of data, a lot of smarts with race car tech and engineering that he can bring to the table. He's been around the series. He knows the tracks. He knows the cars. Like, this is a guy you're going to see, have such a long career, another 10, 15, 20 years, driving prototypes and things like that, because, I could see him going back to Europe and doing Le Mans and things like that, because he's just that talented. He brings that much to the table with these teams, and that's definitely hard to find. You want to talk about the road racing total package right there. It's Colin Braun, and in Core Autosport, he's with one of the elites. One of the big teams there. Looking forward to seeing how things develop. But solid dude. You guys definitely give him a follow. Amy and I had a lot of fun with him. Sometimes with interviews, when you're out at an event, like, some of the best parts of the interview aren't on air, right? You're talking to him beforehand or after, and it's like, man, I should have just kept the mic running, because it's that funny. And that was that Colin Braun interview. That's why we opened it up and we're like, oh, it's going to be crickets now, right? Because we'd done like 10 minutes of just like riffing off each other. That's what's awesome about, when you get Amy and myself and any of these drivers together. She brings her motocross and Monster Jam background. I bring, trophy trucks and some rally and some, off-road and razor background. And then you bring these other guys, and it's like a mix of all things like rad. And, we can really kind of ping off each other and pick each other's brains. So lots of fun catching up with Colin Braun. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got Jordan Taylor, Renger van der Zande in this Continental Tire Takeover coming at you here, still in hour number 2 of the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you, but you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners, and for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies, adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Want the latest from Jim Beaver and Amy Hood? Follow at Jim Beaver 15 and at Amy Hood 71 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Continuing on with these Continental Tire IMSA interviews. Right now, we've got Jordan Taylor and Renger van der Zande in a absolute funny interview. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. All right, so continuing on here at Long Beach Grand Prix, and we got some Continental drivers, Jordan Taylor and Renger van der Zande. Did I get it? Zande? Okay. Zande. Okay, all right. No, we got to get that on the mic. So.
Renger van der Zande.
All right. It just rolls off your tongue so much better than it does mine. No, but we're out here having a good time, just checking out the races. I know, you guys have had some, you particularly had some, good luck here at Long Beach. I mean, take us through this event. Obviously, you know what it takes to win here.
Yeah, I mean, we came here the first time, I think, 4 or 5 years ago, and I think our team just runs well on street courses. We've won here 3 years in a row now. We won Detroit 3 or 4 times, which is another street course, so these street tracks, you have to stay on top of it as a team and as drivers to develop the car as the track is evolving, so Renger's had lots of success in all forms of racing on street course racing, so he can kind of bring us a new perspective as well, and, practice has been going well so far, and I think as the track evolves, we'll keep adapting.
Well, how did you guys get linked up together? I know you've done some racing with your brother in the past, but I mean, how did this team form? Obviously, it's you guys got to be pretty excited about it. But how did you guys get linked up together?
I saw him on Instagram, and there we go. No,
you saw his rap video he put out earlier this week.
Yeah, I saw all of his videos.
It's better than meeting on Tinder. So.
Yeah, it would be Grindr.
How do you know that?
I have a good story about that.
Okay. Well, we'll save that for Monday.
We're going to save that because we're circling back to this. No, but... Oh my gosh, this is going to be a fun interview already, I'm telling you. But how's the team working out? Obviously, you've got Sebring and Daytona in the books. I mean, a couple of big ones. How's things? What's the prospects for 2018?
Yeah, I mean, we want to win races basically. At least that's my goal. And when I go into a race weekend. And I think, Dwayne Taylor Racing and I think the crew showed that they won the championship last year and they won championships in the past. So they know what it takes. They know what it takes to win races, and that's how you win championships. But to be honest, my feeling always has been winning races is much more fun. And then when you win races, you win a championship. So for me, I'll take it race by race, especially because Daytona was a shitty weekend. Yeah.
We'll get that one beat.
In Holland,
you're honest, right?
In Holland, it means actually it's a good. No. It's I'm not talking myself out of it. No. Actually, it was a bad weekend in Daytona, and then in Sebring we had a reasonable weekend. So I think coming from a low point in the first race weekend of the year, I think it can only go up. And I think it somehow releases a bit of stress as well in a way. So I think we're here to win races, and I think then we'll see where we end up in the championship, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, Daytona was a disaster, and we finished second at Sebring, and now Long Beach really starts our bulk of the season with all these sprint races. So you can gain or lose a lot in these ones. I mean, Long Beach, you can be on the wall in a second and finish last and lose, 20 points, and we're only 12 points back right now. So there's a lot of risk versus reward. Make up some points if you need it, but like Renger said, this is a big one for us. Long Beach, we have lots of Konica Minolta guests, so this is one we really want to win.
Yeah. Well, and I know, talking about guests and things like that, obviously working with Cadillac, it's had to have been pretty fun. I mean, you want to talk about some iconic brands, right? Cadillac's got to be a pretty rad team to be driving for.
Yeah, it is. I mean, especially as an American with an American brand, it's really cool. And, they had a Le Monster, their car that they raced at Le Mans back in the 50s. They brought it to Daytona this year for us to drive, and it was terrifying, but it was cool to kind of feel the history of the brand and see how the technology has really developed.
Yeah, and for me as well, as a Dutch guy, I'm from Holland, I live in Amsterdam, and coming over here to the US racing and racing for an American brand like Cadillac and racing for an American team with the American teammate, I think it's pretty special. And every time I fly over, for me, it's like a treat, I would say. So it's I like it.
Yeah, so I got to ask. I mean, obviously you guys are racing together. I know there's been a lot of media put out. Who's got the more expensive backpack?
Well, yeah. You haven't seen mine yet.
Yeah, they didn't write Renger's. Renger's is up there. Lots of leather as well.
Yeah. Lots of leather. You got jewels.
It's bedazzled. Well, yeah, I mean, I just actually started up with Rob over at Centire Media for my brand new podcast called The Wild Ones, which you could talk about your grinder story on. It's a little bit more, you can be, a little less PG, more rated R. But, I mean, you got a pretty cool podcast going on. Want to tell us a little bit about that and, your social media, because you're quite a character.
Yeah, I have a couple characters, I guess. I mean, I think myself isn't much of a character, but Rodney Sandstorm's a character.
It's called multi-personality disorder.
Yeah, there was a movie about it, wasn't there? Well, he was a little scary. No, I mean, it's fun. I think, in this day and age, it's fun to have a good personality on social media. For someone like me, when I follow someone, it's someone I want to enjoy following. I don't want to just see him posting someone at the gym working out every day and just like anyone else. So I try to make it fun and exciting and different and original. And I think, we see this weekend people don't call me by Jordan anymore. People shout out Rodney and where's your dog Fonzie and random stuff like that. So it's sort of taken over.
He has more Rodney Sandstrom. His account has more followers than I do.
See, but people don't understand now, in this new kind of generation of racing where you have a lot of older, more established guys who don't even know how to log onto a computer. But, the competitive advantage as an athlete to be able to utilize social media to really connect with those fans. And it's such a tool now and, a competitive tool to angle it towards brands and your sponsorships that, also being on a track and being a great racer. But you have this whole other, reach to your fans to be able to connect, to be engaging. And the market's so saturated. If you don't put yourself out there and your personality, you can't create that fan driver experience.
Yeah, I think it's extremely easy just to blend in, like you said, and not be original. And you have to find a way to stand out in some way. And social media gives you kind of that platform to do so. And mine might be a weirder way than other people's, but it works. And I think, like you said, you have to create a brand for yourself and attract sponsors and teams and people's interests. So I think Konica Minolta has been with us for years, and I used to have a mullet, which was pretty cool. And as soon as I cut it off, they were...
Who thinks it's cool? Like the chicks or...
I don't know. Ask the chicks.
Well, I am one from what I've remembered, but...
No. I guess it attracts a certain type of chick.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at here.
But when I cut it off, like, they were upset because it was such a... part of who I was. But now they're behind of anything I do now that's unique, and they're not afraid to jump outside the box.
We'll talk a little bit about your two relationship too. Your teamwork and your friendship here. They're holding hands and one's on the leg. You did meet on Grindr, didn't you? But that's a huge part of being successful. How is your guys' relationship from meeting online to now working together and driving together? Like, how is your relationship kind of formed, and who carries who in what places?
No, I think like I said before, my racing was always in Europe. I grew up in Europe racing there, and coming to the US, I started in the IMSA Championship, and I grew up here in the last 5-6 years. And I think I went from a lower category into a higher category, and this year for the first time with Jordan and Wayne Taylor Racing, and it was always the team on the highest, fighting for the overall wins and fighting for the overall championship trophy. So for me, coming into this team, it's a lot of me blending into their way of working, blending into how they think it should be done. And I think Jordan is a very nice guy. I mean, I can really honestly say that.
Oh, that's so cute, guys. What about you? What do you think? Yeah, you can lay it on them. He's going to throw you under the bus so hard.
No, I mean...
I hate him.
Yeah, he's okay. No, but I mean, when Ricky, my brother, was leaving last year, we were looking for someone new, and obviously you want someone fast, but you want someone with a personality and no ego to come in to your team and blend in well, like you said. And obviously he's fast. He got the pole at the Rolex this year in his first race with us, so he's proven himself. He's got nothing to prove with us as a racing driver, but as a person, he fits in with every member of the team. It's more of a family-style team, so he fits in perfectly. The sponsors love him, so you really look for a full package, like we were saying, the whole brand. And he fits in all aspects.
You hear that? You're the full package deal. You got some good air fluff in there.
So no, and going back to that, coming from Europe to the States, I mean, racing in Europe is very similar to the United States and is very different at the same time. I mean, what's some of the biggest changes you've seen, coming to race here in the United States?
I really like the tracks over here, more than in Europe actually even. So basically they're a little bit older school kind of tracks where the runoff is small. So when you have in Europe, you get a lot of penalties for track limit violations. So if you go off track and you come on and you gain time by doing that, here you're off track, your car is broken. So that's what I really like about the US tracks. And I think also the racing is a bit different with the kind of safety car makes a lot of safety cars during the race, which we don't have in Europe. I think over in Europe it's a bit over-regulated, and here, for example, Bo, our race director, they really let us race. So a bit of wheel banging and a bit of old school kind of racing is normal here, and I think that's the standard. So that's what I really like over here. And I think Europe at the same time is very good as well. Great races over there. I'm racing on the Nordschleife, which is a 21-kilometer track at the Nürburgring. I think it's special as well. So that it all has a different aspect. But for sure, if I can race another 15 years over here, I would sign up for it today.
Well, you're a race car driver. You'll go anywhere where there's a ride, right?
For sure, I try to race as much as I can. This is my main program, and then whenever I can do any other races and they allow me, then I'll go for it.
All right, so wrapping things up here, Jordan, I mean, you know what it takes to win here at Long Beach. What's it going to take to put it on top of the box again?
I think, Renger's going to have a good qualifying this afternoon. It's tough to pass here. We only have one pit stop, so kind of wherever he qualifies, that's where we're going to run for a while. And as long as the guys execute our pit stop well, maintain track position, and like we said, it's easy to make a mistake. So kind of staying out of the wall and not taking too much risk in traffic is a big part of it.
And that wraps. All right, and that is it with Jordan and Renger here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Lots of fun catching up with those guys out there at the Long Beach Grand Prix. And I know between Project Action last week, we did like director's cuts of all those. We got them here, the Continental Tire Takeover on the national show. Man, we have pushed out. We had Matty Brabs and Hinch. Pushed out so much Long Beach Grand Prix content. Thank you guys for hanging out. Man, I had a ton of fun out there. I think I'm going to go to the Indy GP, the road course, start of May, and maybe we'll do this again with just a ton of interviews and stuff. I'll see if I can get them all lined up there at Indy. But I love doing stuff like that, man. It's always fun. And I enjoy it. So thank you guys for supporting it. Thanks to Continental Tire for their support of that. Julie out there is just a class act, and my friends at Continental Tire, the sister company to or the parent company to General Tire, they're partners there, and kind of fun to see how things work on both the Connie side and the GT side. So, man, very fortunate to work with the best tire brand in the entire world, and get to experience, everything from the off-road stuff with General to, the IMSA road racing with Continental. So lots of fun, and thank you guys for joining in, for the journey. But I got to tell you, Jordan Taylor does have his own podcast. It is worth subscribing to. If you listen to this show, you definitely should go, and find that over there on iTunes. Just search Jordan Taylor. It's going to pull right up. But the guy is comedic. He's got a different spin on podcasting. I love getting drivers, to do podcasts and radio shows. Hinch and Rossi have one too. You always get a different spin, a different take on things, and it's really entertaining when you get that, because everybody brings their different personality and driving background to things, and I think you get a dynamic podcast by people who eat, sleep, and breathe racing than you get, from somebody that, just literally sits behind a mic and analyzes things. So you definitely worth checking out. Go and subscribe to that on iTunes. It's through our good friends at Centire Media as well. They syndicate this show in addition to many others, and Jordan's, Amy's new show. So definitely check it out. But we're going to take a short break. We come back. We're wrapping things up here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online in syndication on networks across the U.S. and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
And we are here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. If you're still hanging on, thank you guys for listening to all 2 hours of the show. Wrapping things up here. Once again, big thank you to Continental Tire for all those interviews out there at the Long Beach Grand Prix, Polaris Razor, General Tire, Subaru, Vision Wheel, Casey Highlights, Gibson Exhaust, Dirtfish, Impact, Optimus, Terracross, Blue Water Resort and Casino and Wakeboard Island, and our friends at Moto Shield Pro. Upcoming events, man, it's month of May starting here pretty soon. We got Supercross wrapping up, some more NHRA. You know, it's, I don't know, it's all hands on deck. Terracross starting in a month and a half. We're going to have a lot of news around that series coming out shortly, too. So, man, I don't know. We got, Best in the Desert coming up, Baja 500 coming up. Lucas is kicking off, man. We haven't even got into talking the Midwest with our good friends at Lucas Oil. So I don't know, we got a lot coming at you, coming out swinging here in the next couple of weeks on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Got to give a big shout out to a good friend of the show, Brittany Force, on taking that NHRA Top Fuel win and bouncing back the way she did from that crash earlier in the season. Always love to see that. And you can give me a follow. It's at JimBeaver15, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and FacebookGroups.com/JimBeaver15. Amy Hood is at AmyHood71. Coupon code for Dirtfish is JBDirtfish for 15% off all products. And our other show, Project Action, make sure and subscribe on YouTube on Facebook. On iTunes to that, and make sure and subscribe to the Down and Dirty Radio Show. I don't think you guys realize what it means when you subscribe. It helps us out, and if you leave a rating or review, it even means more. So please do that on iTunes if you have the chance. Please go and do that today. Amy's show dropping very, very soon. My good friend Jim Riley, his show, The Answer is Yes, drops this week. Make sure and check that out as well. And I don't know, man, that's about all I got. Love to have some fan questions. We haven't done a Q&A segment in quite some time, so if you've got them, hit me up at JimBeaver15 on social media, or use the contact form on my website at downanddirtyshow.com. And I don't know. We'll see you guys next week. Be safe. As always, game on.